When was the golden era of The Simpsons? Grab a drink, grab a snack, and let's go back. Hi guys, and welcome back to another episode of Gen X Unfiltered, the podcast.
What's up, everybody?
Hello.
We are talking about The Simpsons today.
Yes, the legendary family from Springfield.
The TV show, just in case anybody was confused.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty clear when you say The Simpsons.
I think it's
what you're talking
been around
about.
long enough. I think
don't know.
most people know what it is.
Yeah.
I feel like even like the babies know what it is.
It's definitely been on long enough that people watching it now
Like,
have their kids watching it.
My
Yeah.
8-year-old nephew watches The Simpsons, so
Yeah, which is crazy because I was 10 when I started.
we're not going
Oh
to talk
my
about
God,
that.
that's crazy.
Yeah, it's been a long
All right,
time.
Steve did the research for this episode, so he is running the show.
That's right. I got my papers here. So let's get into it.
Let's
The
go.
Simpsons, the golden era. So we're going to sort of be talking more about what is traditionally thought of as the golden era of The Simpsons, seasons 1 to 10.
Oh, it's only that short?
People
Yeah.
have it's still a hotly debated topic.
All right.
Some people think it's
I'd say it's
Yeah.
even less, to be honest, but I'll let Steve lead us off here.
yeah.
All right.
People kind of debate whether it's all whether the golden era has happened. If some people say it's having a resurgence now.
Yeah.
But we're going to sort of look at what people consider to be the golden era of The Simpsons.
All right.
So I'm going to get a little bit of I think this is fairly common knowledge, but
I mean, maybe not to me, but
no. But so The Simpsons is an American animated comedy created by Matt Groening for the Fox Broadcast Company. The series is a satirical depiction of American life epitomized by the Simpson family, which consists of Homer, Marge, Bart, Lisa, and Maggie. I think that's...
but they didn't talk about their pets.
no, there is no talk about the pets or Grandpa
Oh,
Poor Grandpa.
or Abe.
That was his name?
yeah.
It is, yes.
Oh, I never knew that. I always thought it was just... Did they call him Grandpa?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
they call
Grandpa
it-
Simpson?
Yeah, but his name was Abe.
Yeah. Only his peers called him Abe.
Oh, okay.
So set in the fictional town of Springfield, it characterizes society, Western culture, television, and the human condition. Very deep stuff going on The Simpsons. So it said Groening created a dysfunctional family and named the characters after his own family members, substituting Bart for his own name. He thought Simpson was a funny name and that it sounded similar to Simpleton. The shorts became a part of the Tracy Ullman Show on April 19th, 1987.
Yikes.
And after 3 seasons, the sketch was developed into a half-hour primetime show on Fox, the first series to land in the top 30 seasons in the season of 1989-1990. So it actually was popular right off the start.
I was like, what? Okay, yeah.
So it was kind of weirdly worded. But
No,
so
no, that's okay.
Do you
Yeah.
guys? My first question to you guys: do you guys remember watching that on the Tracy Ullman Show?
I do. The cartoons looked weird. Homer's voice was wrong because I think it was Matt Groening to start.
Yeah.
I think. But I remember watching him. Like, it was really weird. I remember a skit. It was one of those shorts, like you were saying, right?
Yeah.
I remember one where like they were putting Maggie to bed, and then it was like a bird's eye, like Maggie's perspective on like her parents, and they're all like warbly, and the voices didn't make any sense. And that's that's the one Tracy Ullman skit of The Simpsons I really kind of remember was like Maggie's perspective.
Yeah, I definitely remember watching it too, but not enough to really
Yeah.
rattle off a bunch of episodes of it. I mean, I do remember watching it. What about
Yeah.
you, Kel? Were you?
I mean, I'm going to be honest. I don't really... I've heard the name Tracy... What's her name?
Tracy Ullman.
Tracy Ullman.
Like, I know that they started there because of just, like, knowing that. Like, I didn't watch it, but, like,
Yeah.
over the years I heard it. But I have seen clips of it. Yeah, they were, like, not as, like round. Remember them being, like, very kind of squarey characters.
The animation was cheap. The lines kind of like were wiggly
Yeah.
and stuff.
It was very...
But
Yeah.
I didn't watch,
Yeah.
like, I know nothing about it other than that what I've heard, that it started as a sketch.
Okay. So I'm carrying on here. So since its debut in December 17th, 1989, Jesus, that seems like a long time ago.
Oh my
Scary.
God.
I remember watching it from day one.
Yeah.
There's been 765 episodes of the show. It is the longest running American animated series, longest running American sitcom, and the longest running American scripted primetime television series, both in season and individual episodes.
Oh my God.
And it also had a feature film, The Simpsons movie, which was released in July 27th, 2007.
That was in 2007? I thought that was like 5 years ago.
2007, yeah.
2007,
That is crazy.
Shoot.
So that was sort of my question was, when did you start watching The Simpsons right off the, well, you were watching from Tracy Ullman, I'm guessing you were right from day one.
Oh yeah, when they were a TV show, like I definitely watched from day one.
I was going to say, let me answer that first because my answer will be short and sweet.
Well, go on.
Just because that way then I'm done and Eric can talk on, because I know this is your guys' Jimmy Jam. Look, I knew The Simpsons existed back then, and I watched episodes here and there. I wasn't a religious watcher of it. I didn't really know interest in it. Not gonna lie, when I was in high school, there was a boy I liked, and he super loved The Simpsons, like obsessed. So I started watching it then. Like,
you were a late bloomer in high school. It was
like grade 9, like not like it was like early high school.
Yeah.
And so I was like, ooh, I gotta be like pretend like I know what I'm talking about. And I watched it for like 5 minutes, and then over the years I've seen like reruns of it and stuff. But yeah, I was never like a loyal watcher. But I've seen a lot of it.
Okay, yeah, I mean now it's hard.
I don't think you can avoid it, especially back then.
It's pretty hard to miss. It's on still everywhere, like on reruns and syndication and stuff like that. And I'm in the same way. I definitely started watching like right off the bat. I was a big fan. Yeah, I pretty much watched it regularly for, I want to say like probably the first 10 or 12 seasons. Like, watch it every Sunday night. Saw the movie.
That, are you sure you never watched it longer than that? Because that would have been like early 2000s. That's when you stopped
watching
but
that's honestly, once I started working full time, that's where it started to.
I know,
stupid work.
Work gets in the way of everything fun.
I know, that's kind of
when The Simpsons.
Well, because when I first started working, I was doing shift work too. Yeah. So then I was, not always at home and stuff like that. So
I remember recording The Simpsons to same thing. I started working full time.
Yeah.
Couldn't always be up Sunday watching the show. So I remember recording it to go home and watch it after.
Did you watch it from the get
Oh yeah, I watched it from day one when the show first started. It was really kind of like the Bart Simpson show, more or less. It was like I'm a delinquent, I'm Bart Simpson.
Yeah.
And that was like the big fad when it first started. Mm-hmm. And I watched probably pretty steadily right up until the movie almost. So 2006, 2007, I think was when I kind of stopped watching, more or less.
I don't know if Steve's going to talk about the movie at all, but full disclosure, never seen the movie.
Okay, well that was my next question.
Okay.
If you guys, do you still watch The Simpsons?
I honestly haven't watched. I know I don't know about now because I don't actually have like cable TV or whatever they call it. But I know at one point it was literally on every syndication. So like you would always catch it somewhere. Yeah. But I haven't actually watched an episode in like a really long time. I don't even know like when new episodes are on anymore. Like I have no idea.
I think as far as I know, it's still on Sunday nights.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's still on Sunday nights. I don't watch the show anymore, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like I probably stopped watching after the movie came out, or maybe just a little before the movie came out. And because in my opinion, it wasn't as good anymore.
But like
but hold on, I'm not done. I'm not done talking here.
I got excited. I had a question for you.
Okay, hold on your question for a second.
Okay.
All right. But I did try to watch the Halloween specials, like because they're my favorite episodes. Halloween ones.
Yeah.
So I did, even when I wasn't watching the show, I did try and catch the Halloween episodes. And the last one I saw was Daniel Radcliffe was on it. He guested on the Halloween show, and he was like a wolf boy or something.
Yeah, I remember that one.
That was probably like, I'm scared to say, like 10 years ago. Probably.
All right, everybody get ready to like blast me. And
all right, here comes your question. We're ready.
No. First, before my question, I have to say, I hate the Halloween episodes.
What?
Really?
You're crazy.
Hate them. No,
you're absolutely crazy.
Hate them. They're so dumb.
No way.
No, they're good. I always love them. I'm like Eric. I'll still try and I've watched them, and now on Disney Plus they have them like they'll put up like in Halloween they'll have like a playlist of just the Halloween episodes and stuff.
Yeah.
So I love watching them.
My quick question I can say to both of you is like, I know like you may not have cable or whatever, but like just assume you did. Like if you're flipping through the channels and you see it on TV, like do you ever just stop and watch it, or is it completely just off your radar?
No, depending. If I see it on, I'll watch it. I do now. I follow a lot of like accounts on TikTok and stuff like that where they'll put like clips of The Simpsons on there. So I'll see it on a regular basis there or something on Instagram Reels.
Will I watch it if I see it on TV now?
Yeah.
Like a new episode?
Well, just like it's the syndication, right? So I don't know
if it's a rerun and it's like an episode I love, I'll probably like watch it.
Okay.
Otherwise, I'll move on.
Oh, look at that poor Simpsons being left in the dust.
I know.
All right.
I've probably seen every single like of the good episodes like a million times each by now.
Yeah, but I mean, whatever. But I mean, yeah, I do not enjoy the Halloween episode. Sorry, don't at me. It's my own personal opinion.
Oh my god, I know they're like not part of like the main narrative of each season, but they are hilarious.
But I just don't get it. Like it's weird stuff happens. I mean, I haven't seen a lot of them, but
that's the whole point. It's Halloween. It's weird. It doesn't have to make sense.
No, it's Halloween, so they're more sometimes bizarre and some of them are just straight up funny, whatever. But they get a little out there and stuff. But
how can you not laugh when Homer's head gets turned into a donut and he's eating his own head?
Yeah.
Maybe
That's hilarious.
I just have a higher intellect.
But I'm so sweet and tasty.
They're down the rabbit hole. I said maybe I just have a higher intellect level than you.
That must be it.
Just joking.
That's the only explanation.
It's got to be it.
You know, Simpsons was written by Harvard grads. Very smart people were writers on The Simpsons.
Conan O'Brien.
Sure.
Yeah.
All right. Sorry, Steve. We went off the rails.
No, it's fine. But so, Simpsons fans rejoice. On January 26, 2023, this series was renewed for its 35th and 36th seasons.
Oh my God. They're
taking
actually
the show through 2024, 2025.
So they're actually not even doing like 1 year renewals. It's
2 years, so it's still going strong. It's
we have at least one more year of Simpsons coming up.
It is absolutely blows my mind that
how much do
the Simpsons from, as a kid, that it is still going and still going strong. It's
an institution now. Like,
do the voice actors still get raises? Like, they must be making $1 gazillion now.
Oh, those voice actors are making bank. Like,
I was doing readings. I forgot about they fought a lot for money, and but then they're taking a pay cut to keep it going in some points and stuff. But they're
doing fine.
But not only that, like in syndication, they're probably making a crap ton too. Because I think every network has bought it.
I don't know how much they get to that side. I have no idea. Well, to be honest,
I mean,
but
look at
either way,
I'm sure Matt Groening's not crying.
No, I mean,
I'm sure it probably blows his mind that this little strip comic that he started out is now like 35 years later still going strong. It's crazy.
All right, I have lots of things to say, but I want to wait in case Steve brings it up. I don't want to steal his thunder.
So now we're going to get into, like I said, so the big topic, especially people like us who, Gen Xers, even some of the older millennials who
we watched it when it
have
first
been around
came out.
from like the start of it.
Yeah.
Have sort of some polarizing thoughts as to where the show has gone right, wrong. Is it still any good? And like you said, people like us who kind of fell off watching and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So we're going to talk about what's considered like the golden era of The Simpsons.
All right, hit me.
So pretty much technically The Simpsons received widespread acclaim throughout its early seasons in the 90s, which are generally considered its quote-unquote golden age. Since then, it's been criticized for a perceived decline in quality. There are many definitions of when the golden era of The Simpsons actually ended. This is seen as quote-unquote the trap that ensnares every discussion of The Simpsons.
Well, it's so long. It's like...
Well, it's true, where sensible fans end up debating when the show quote-unquote started to suck. The end of the golden era, a noticeable decline in quality, is not the same as when the show stopped being enjoyable to watch.
Oh, okay.
So the general consensus, season 10 or 11, was as good as it got.
The end of the golden era.
Yeah.
Well, okay, sorry.
So The Simpsons had definitely started to suffer or lose its mojo and become less consistent from week to week. A lot of critics point to season 7 as the point at which noticeable decline in quality is observed, while others name season 9, 10, and others say The Simpsons golden era lasted from season 1 to 10. So it's kind of, everyone seems to look at that first 10 years as like it's...
But
this is the best.
Yeah.
It's just a question of when did the fall off happen.
Well, but here's my thing, right? So like, I think it's impossible for something for 30 plus years to maintain its like...
Oh, no.
Right?
Yeah.
So I feel like 10 years, because like look at the super popular sitcoms. I mean, like, they never went past like 8, 9, 10 years. Like 10 was like pushing it, right? So and all those too, by the time it was the 8th or 9th or 10th season, it was kind of like, this is a little bit lame.
Yeah.
So I feel like all the like shock value of The Simpsons by then, like it had been said and done.
Well,
and so they couldn't do anything newer.
Yeah.
No, and and that's sort of the point here. And I know I think this is true for most shows. Like season 1 and 2, most people don't even, for The Simpsons and 2, they kind of take that out of the equation because they're still trying to figure out the show, right? And it's like that. You watch any show.
Oh yeah, first season's terrible.
Like I love The Sopranos, season 1 and 2. Like they're not bad. They're good, but
not nearly as good.
Once it gets going and the writing and stuff like that, then it starts to really fire on all cylinders. And so The Simpsons season 1 and 2 are kind of considered. People look at it as like the training wheels were still on and stuff like that.
Yeah, they really didn't find themselves then at that point.
No, someone actually said here is practically King of the Hill compared with the later seasons. That's kind of a dig. It's actually mine.
I liked King of the Hill.
But King of the Hill, was a little...
It was weird.
Yeah.
It was more
it was slower paced.
Yeah.
A lot of dry humor.
Yeah, so they're saying that, the season 1 and 2...
Yeah, more whatever, like that.
But...
Yeah, for me, season 1 and 2 was really more about like Bart Simpson being a delinquent kid, like that kind of humor. And I thought it was funny when I was a little kid too, right? But really, like, I totally agree. I think like once the show shifted, it became more about like Homer. And after season 2, that's when the show really like hit its stride.
Do you remember, like just quickly, like when it first came out and like everybody had those Bart Simpson t-shirts that said "Who the..."
That's like season 1 and 2.
What was it? What did it say? I'm Bart Simpson. Who the hell are you?
Yep, I had that
Don't Have a Cowman.
Yeah.
Underachiever and Proud of It.
Yeah.
Yeah, I still remember to this day we were playing soccer baseball. I think in the American friends call it kickball.
Oh, I love soccer baseball.
Playing that at recess.
Yeah.
In grade 5, so I was 10.
Yeah.
And I remember walking back from the baseball diamond to the class after recess, and a teacher stopped me, and I was wearing the I'm Bart Simpson Who the Hell Are You shirt. And he pulled me aside. He's like, "I'm not the big man in this place, kid, but I suggest you never wear that shirt again."
Really? Back then they cared about that crap?
Yeah. I remember he pulled me over and was like, "Don't ever wear that." Yeah, he said, I remember he's word for word, "I'm not the big man in this place, but I suggest you never wear that shirt again."
He sounds a little bit uptight, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
Nowadays, I could see the whole, like, I'm proud to be an underachiever, not going so cool or whatever what that was.
Yeah,
but it's funny.
I remember at my school, I'm Bart Simpson Who the Hell Are You shirt was banned.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
My sister actually bought me that shirt. She was on a school trip to Ottawa, and she bought it for me as like a present.
I am so shocked that back then when, like, you know, we literally would die playing on the playground and our parents didn't care.
No, The Simpsons, there was a lot of controversy on The Simpsons. Yeah. Like, it
Weird.
was definitely, people thought it was horrible.
It's true, though, because, like, my, like, 8-year-old nephew, and I think your nephews too, like, it's like, what? I'm like, oh, The Simpsons is a bit old for, like, kids, but, like, we watched it a little bit older.
Just try and, like, you know, go in your time machine. Think back to, like, 1989, right? What were the popular sitcoms at the time? It was, like, The Cosby Show.
Yeah.
Family Ties. All these, like, super clean
very, like,
shows, right?
Family friendly.
Family shows.
Here's my question.
Homer choking Bart.
So here,
you know,
here comes The Simpsons.
Stuff like that.
Homer's booking... I can't even say the word. Homer's choking his son.
Yeah.
Joking.
Like, my brain's broken. But Homer's like choking his son. And like, you know, if you're used to like the Cosby Show or, you know, Family Ties.
Okay.
Cosby, you know, whatever.
I'm sure there's a few times I saw Dr. Huxtable putting hands on Theo.
Well, we could talk about Dr. Huxtable in a whole different light now.
But
Unfortunately.
Wait. My question is, and I don't know if you guys know the answer to this. I mean, maybe the answer is obvious, but when this show came out, what was its target audience, like 8, 9, 10-year-old kids, or was it more like older kids or adults?
I think it was, well, I mean, it premiered on the Tracy Ullman Show, which was not, it wasn't a kid's show, so no, it was definitely geared for like
young adults,
you know,
young
adults, probably like 19, 20-year-olds.
Yeah.
So they were probably pleasantly surprised when this whole like younger generation was like, yeah.
Well, I think it's the same thing like when South Park came out. South Park wasn't a kid's show.
No.
It was animated, but it wasn't a kid's show at all.
I have a funny story.
Kids would watch it because
it's animated.
It's animated.
Yeah,
so I think The
cartoon.
Simpsons is the same thing. It was
true.
A lot of parents
Fox
make that
at
mistake.
8 o'clock at night. It's, you know.
Yeah.
But then back then our parents didn't give 2 craps what we watched.
No, my parents never told me to turn off any TV ever.
No.
I was surprised by that. Looking back on the growing up, my parents never were like, "You can't watch that movie. You can't." You know,
my dad tried to be strict about things. Like he's like, "You can't watch Melrose Place. It's too smutty." But my mom watched it. So
Smutty Melrose Place?
No way.
Watched it.
Your dad, I'm surprised you wouldn't love it.
I mean, and I always want to say groaning. It's groaning.
Graining.
I'm pretty sure.
I was going to say
Graining?
groaning.
It's the way it's written is
But I mean, maybe it was just like a pleasant surprise. He's like, "Oh, sweet, we got a whole other audience I wasn't expecting."
Oh, probably. Well, then they're pumping out the toys as kids. They had all the Bart Simpson dolls, and
they were on Fox, so he had a longer leash to kind of experiment with this kind
Fox
of stuff.
was
right?
a little more because it was the scrappy young upstart of the network. Right? It was like the fourth network or whatever it was called.
Yeah.
So it had a living color, which is like a very much more hippie, edgier SNL and stuff like that.
Also, for your information, just a little FYI, in case I have the huge need to sneeze right now, so that could come out of nowhere. Just in case.
Hold on for 5 minutes, and we gotta stop the clock.
Okay. You know when it's
reset
like
our timer
right there, but it's not coming.
You can sneeze in 5 minutes and 45 seconds.
That's right.
So if you see me like going like this with my nose, because I'm trying to stop the sneeze. Anyway, continue.
Okay. So anyway, so I'll carry on here with this article that I found online. So it says viewpoints during the Golden Era episodes. Original one were generally harsher and identified a dip in quality much earlier than what contemporary critics assign of seasons 9's The Principal and the Pauper. So that's this episode that. Do you remember that one?
Armin Tanzarian.
That's right.
Oh man.
A lot of people say that episode was the beginning of the downfall of The Simpsons. That's the one where Principal Skinner, so the guy shows up, is claiming to be Principal Skinner, and it turns out that the real Principal Skinner, or the one that we all know, was actually an imposter, and he stole someone's identity in Vietnam, I think it was, wasn't it?
Oh,
it was Vietnam. That's actually like almost the same plot as Mad Men.
Actually, it is exactly
That's
that.
exactly it. I think Mad Men stole from The Simpsons.
We'll have to
Matthew
do a little-
Weiner should
Yeah.
be,
We'll have to do some research on that.
I know.
No, it's exactly what happened. Don Draper, yes.
Don Draper.
Spoiler, anyone listening that hasn't
Yeah.
seen the Mad Men, sorry, but but that's people say that episode, because then so basically this guy shows up and says, I'm Seymour Skinner.
Yeah.
That guy's an imposter. It turns out he's right.
Yeah.
The Seymour Skinner, the principal Skinner everyone knows and loves, was I got an eyelash in my eye.
See, we're all falling apart. I gotta
Yeah, no, what's going on
sneeze.
down here?
Can I ask a question? Did they ever do the Seymour Butts joke on that show?
Yes.
I'm sure they did. Well, they
yeah,
did the
they
whole
Oh, I remember.
Seymour
Wait,
as the
The balloon.
Yeah.
I
butt showing.
have a memory of The Simpsons. Maybe I could be making it up, but did they used to crank call the bar all the time and say things like
Yes,
that?
that was a whole bit. That was a running gag.
Oh, I remember that.
That's why parents hated it, because
Yeah.
you would see Bart crank call Moe's Tavern and
Yeah. And
Okay.
kids would get bad ideas. They're going to crank call their local tavern.
Yeah.
I liked Mo.
and then Moe would always threaten to cut him.
I'll
and
kill you,
gouge him
kid.
and gouge your eyes out and stick him down
But
your
he
throat.
fell for it every time.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he did. And then Barney and all those guys would be laughing in the
Yeah.
bar.
All right, sorry. I got
All the
sidetracked.
barflies.
I don't remember. I do remember some episodes some episodes specifically, but not like you guys. But I just remember little things like that. Like that was a running thing. And didn't Bart always harass his teacher and stuff?
Yeah, he would pick on Mrs. Crabapple.
Yeah, porker bopple.
Is it Crabapple or Crabapple?
Crabapple.
Yeah, I think you're right. It's crab apple, but they changed the pronunciation.
Yeah.
Oh, it's kind of like a weird little.
It's a weird little
because she
inside
was
joke.
crabby. She was a little
Yeah.
she was a little Karen-y.
Yeah, well, she's a divorcee teacher.
She was bitter.
Yeah,
I
not
don't know.
happy.
Yeah, no, she was definitely.
She
had
thought
to-
she thought she was going to date Gordie Howe, but it didn't happen.
That's
She
right.
had to-
Woodrow.
She
Woodrow.
had to teach snotty or grade twos or whatever grade.
I think
Oh,
she was a pent-up,
Wait.
frustrated single woman who.
That's a question. How old was Bart supposed to be?
10.
Oh, I thought he was
Jinx.
7.
Well, oh,
You
damn
guys
it!
can't talk until you.
I think it's a podcast. I don't have to talk, right?
That's right.
So he was supposed to be 10. Okay, I always thought he was younger for some reason.
No, yeah, he was 10.
Wait a minute, that's interesting because maybe that's where the whole weird thing happened, where it was this different audience than they probably originally expected. Because you guys were 10ish when it first started, so you were
Yeah.
the same age as Bart.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my God, that
He
means
spoke to me on a level I could understand.
I'm not
true.
going to reveal our ages. Not like anybody can't figure it out, but I'm just saying Bart's our age.
Yeah,
Bart's old.
Bart's not a young
Bart's
guy.
not young.
Bart's middle aged, man.
He looks good for his age.
Homer
Yeah.
would be in his 70s.
Yeah,
Assuming he made it.
Homer-
there.
Homer was 38 on the show in 1990.
Yeah.
So he would have been 20. So yeah, he'd be in his 75, 76.
Yeah,
Assuming he made it with his
Damn.
lifestyle.
that's true.
Anyway, again, side note, I just kind of got derailed. These things hit me out of nowhere, so go ahead.
Lightning strikes.
Okay, so here we go. This article goes into now sort of talking more about the golden era and stuff like that.
Okay.
So for years, The Simpsons had an enviable hit-to-miss ratio, but the episode that heralded an era of more misses and established a precedent of dramatically changing character storylines, most viewers consider the first 14 seasons of The Simpsons the essential canon.
Oh, okay.
What does that mean? So that's where everything happened?
Or, yeah, that's kind of like the Bible of it. And after that, they kind of started to get away from sort of
Okay.
what made it good, basically.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
how many ideas can you come up with after 14 seasons?
Because they do I don't know. I
think 30,
I was gonna
30
say it's
episodes a
30,
season.
35 episodes
Yeah.
a season. And well, they actually have I remember hearing that they have a team that only does the couch gags.
That's it.
Well, they'd have to.
Well, you
There's so
have to do
much.
come
many.
up and you're
Yeah.
trying to make them funny. Hopefully,
Hold
But
on. What's a coach gag?
their opening sequence, right, where they very open at the credits, that they always go to the couch and
They're
something
all rushing
different
to the
happens.
couch.
Is it
Philly.
different every time?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So there's an actual writing team that all they do is couch gags
that's crazy.
because
Well, there's
It
so
makes
many.
sense.
well, to try and do it 35, constantly, and it's such a short thing,
Does he still?
How do you get that job? If there's an opening, I'm interested.
I think what you said, I think with Harvard, was it Hasty Pudding? Is that their and National Lampoon writers and stuff like that? I think it's a lot of those.
Well, I
guys.
didn't go to Harvard, so that's
Wait,
that.
I have a question too.
Sing Fair Harvard.
Do they still?
You have the poorest minutes of a Yale.
Do they still do where Bart writes on the chalkboard?
Yep.
Yep.
That
Is
too.
it different every time?
Yep. Yeah.
I do that job because he always writes lame stuff.
Well, again, it's funny. But
No, but I mean, it's easy.
No,
Yeah.
but it's the same thing. Try and do that
Yeah,
every 35 times and make it unique
35
each
times.
time, and
over 35 years.
Yeah.
Or more years now, I guess.
But so it was 765 episodes?
Yeah.
I have all this, like, as you guys are talking about things, I have all these things of questions I want to ask, but I don't want to get you guys off track. So I'm going to try and remember them for the end.
Okay.
Are you excited?
Please hold your questions to the end.
I know.
Okay.
I'm bad at doing that.
All right.
It's Steve's show, so...
No, it's not.
Well, not show.
Who are we kidding here?
Look, I'm trying to be better, okay?
All right. So for this AV Club article, it says, in its ranking of the seasons, it listed 11 to 14 as the worst and 3 to 8 as the best. The reviews of seasons 11 and 14 included heavy on broad sight gags and light on memorable character bits. It's a pretty hit and miss. So they start getting into like more, I don't know if they want to say like cheap laughs, I guess is what they're kind of saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, and I sort of, like you said, like they kind of get away, you know, originally, like, you know, Bart was like the troublemaker and they kind of get away from that. Mm-hmm. Then it was more like Homer being goofy and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know, so it does change over time too, which that's also part of its problem too, I think, is, you know, the show's going to have to grow.
Well, yeah. And I
you
mean...
can't do that without, you know, it's hard to stay fresh over that long without, you're going to alienate some people.
I would be curious to know, like, I mean, I know they probably have a gazillion writers on that show through the years, but I'd be curious to know, like, the longevity of them, because if you have a writer who starts maybe, if they're lucky, writing for the show when they're 25 and they do it for 20 years, like, they're 45. Like, things are different. You're going to change.
I read one article about The Simpsons, and they said basically one of the major changes that they thought happened was in the 2000s, The Simpsons got more cynical and kind of lost its heart, I guess they said. In the 2000s, there's, you know, a lot of the show, there's like some sarcasm in there and stuff.
Yeah.
But there's also like, you know, kind of like kind of a happier undertone, I guess.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
you know, there was like family pieces in there and stuff. Like when, you know, when Maggie talks the first time and things like that. There are like nice moments, right?
So would it be like, I mean, again, I'm asking the question because I don't know. I've only seen earlier episodes, but like, okay, my impression is that Homer was like, you know, a dumb dad who, like, you know, he was a good, like, at the heart of it.
He's like a lovable buffoon.
Yeah, he's like a buffoon. He's an idiot, right? Yeah. But like, is he still an idiot, or did they take that sort of, because that was sort of the charm of him.
I think the whole problem with that is there's a fine line
of idiot
where he becomes just stupid.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like there's the lovable, goofy father who does some really dumb, insane things, but it's
his
still
heart's in the right place.
Funny and stuff like that. Then it just becomes, you go too far left and it's like,
he's just plain dumb.
Yeah, and it's like, this is just like, it's not really funny. It's not smart comedy. It's just like stupid.
It's like, I think that's where comedy,
you get to kind of that stuff and it's like, this is, and I think that's where you start to lose, you know, because it was very well written, a lot of clever jokes and stuff like that. So it's, you know, and to do that over and over and over again, you're going to get trouble. And then I don't have it written down here because they also did switch too, like Matt Groening stepped away.
Yep.
And they had a new head writer and stuff like that. So the different people were doing the show running and stuff like that too changes. So that also.
Yeah.
Was he a writer or just the creator?
Both for the beginning, but then he kind of stepped away more, and then because then he had what else did it? I'm trying to
Futurama.
I'm trying to remember. I'm like, what the heck shoot did he have?
He did Futurama. I think it was late '90s that started.
Yeah. So you know, I think he kind of stepped away for some of that stuff, and you know, not even that, but the Simpsons too. I'm sure, you know, with that, as that show became more popular and all the merchandise and all,
it becomes its own beast.
That you know, it's someone's got to, you know, and being the head of it, like he may not have had the time to just focus as much as you want to do on the show and stuff like that. I'm sure too. Like
no, and I mean it's again, like, you need, when it keeps getting bigger and bigger and keeps going and going, you need more heads, right? To like expand. Eric, this is what happens. I say words like needs more heads, and they both like try hard not to laugh.
Sorry, I never grew up past 12. So
this is why you guys are obsessed with The Simpsons.
Yeah,
you guys are Bart Simpson.
I wish I was Bart Simpson.
You want Homer as a dad?
No, actually, no.
No, that's always one of the jokes too. You know, is that, you know, having Homer is kind of not the sharpest tool in the shed, but good job, nice home.
Right?
Yeah.
You know, a lot of that stuff nowadays.
Easy job, like a good easy job.
Yeah, which is scary because he worked in a nuclear power plant.
He was the safety inspector at a nuclear power plant.
Oh, that was his actual job, was a safety inspector?
Yeah.
Which is scary.
Okay. I mean, okay. Anyway, I don't want to get you off track, but I just have more questions now again. So go ahead.
No, go ahead. What's the...
No, well, not questions, but I was just having flashbacks to like episodes. And I was kind of just curious if you guys could remember what episodes those were, because you guys are like all stars. So, but I'll wait till the end once we get through this stuff.
No, so I was going to say, The Simpsons greatest episodes list by both fans and staff at AV Club always tend to heavily favor the earlier seasons, often having little to no post, again, golden era list at all.
Yeah.
The latest season to be represented is usually 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So, that's about as late as everyone goes in terms of their what's considered, the best episodes. In an 11 episode, Best Simpson episode of the 2000s list, an author noted, pretty much every single episode that's in the discussion for Best Simpsons ever happened in the last decade. That is very early 2000s heavy. The most recent episode for this list was in 2006, most of them for 2000, 2003. So it's, everyone's sort of saying the same thing, that like it's that first decade, even if you take out the first 2 seasons and like the, 10, so the 10 seasons after that.
I just had another thought. Again, okay. I mean, it's kind of rhetorical because we don't know for sure, but I'm just like, okay, wait, why? Like, who is the ones that are like sort of saying like, okay, this is the best part of The Simpsons? My only reason why I'm saying this is because when you say they're like our age and you watch that show at 10 years old, that show is pretty like, oh my gosh, this is crazy.
Yeah.
So right off the top, you have the nostalgia about it, because as you get older, things are less shocking, right? So as you get older, you're like, okay, cool. The
same kind of jokes don't hit as much anymore.
So then now you have the nostalgia of being 10 years old and thinking back to watching it, being like, oh my God, this was the craziest thing. Like, do you know what? Am I making sense?
Well, it's the same like we talked about. Like we watched, we watched a bunch of those old scary movies when we did that. And you watch them now, you're like,
not so scary.
Exactly. Yeah. But when you watch them as a kid, they were impactful.
No, and that's it's like anything. I think The Simpsons, one of the problems, it's a victim of its time.
Yeah.
It came out in the 90s where, the 1990s were a lot different than what it's like today.
Yeah.
So, to watch those old ones, it's funny for us, but for some kids watching it, they might be like,
well,
it's totally relatable. And then us watching the new ones where
it's totally unrelatable.
Well, they're trying to, because they're probably more
trying to be relevant,
sort of more in the modern world. It's like, this isn't The Simpsons that I remember.
Also, maybe more politically correct, because a lot of shows in the 90s, they weren't politically correct.
No, there's that too. The comedy sort of changes and stuff like that potentially. Yeah, honestly, and I mean, like that's why we're talking about sort of this whole golden era, the first sort of 10 seasons, because that's what we know after that.
Yeah,
we all kind of dropped off. And
no, it's a good point. I remember like the first kind of ick moment when I watched The Simpsons. I'm like, this isn't right. Was they did a couple episodes where Homer meets Marge back when they're younger in high school.
Yeah,
and the first one it's set like in like the 60s, I want to say, or like early 70s maybe.
Yeah.
And then I watched a more recent episode, and they redid it. They meet in the 90s now. They meet during the grunge era.
Don't do that.
I'm like, no. Homer and Marge met like in the 70s.
I remember that when Homer was in like the.
Yeah,
he did the margarine.
Margarine, instead of glycerine. Yeah,
you can't do that. You can't change it for the new people that weren't around then.
Exactly. So I'm thinking, like, this isn't right.
Yeah, and that's where they
jump the shark. I got rage. That
honestly,
just gave me rage.
The shows probably shouldn't go on for 35 years. I think
that's exactly it.
And it's not a diss to any show, but it's like there has to be an ending.
Oh yeah,
because what happens is it just keeps going on and on and on. And it just goes,
the quality declines, and it's just like it's a shadow of its former self.
Here's a question. Do you guys, honestly, if they were like 2025 is the last season of The Simpsons, would you 100% watch that finale?
Yes.
100%.
100%.
I feel like
if they end the show, I will watch the finale.
I feel like that finale is going to be one of the highest rated, because there's 35 years of people watching that show.
Yeah.
It'll be huge, I feel like.
And
it won't meet anybody's expectations.
Absolutely.
It'll be terrible.
No, that's impossible.
Well, it's sort of the same thing, and we kind of touched on it, but like the movie, I think, was the same way, that people had so much.
Yeah, I mean, people just get weirdly like, what do you expect?
It's hard because, it's like that with anything. When you talk about like Star Wars and stuff like that, when new stuff comes out, like there's such a big fan base and it's been around for so long that it's impossible to make everyone happy.
But look, this is the same thing with Star Wars, and I'm not even a Star Wars fan. Is that
really? I didn't realize. I swear you were
but
Star
I'm
Wars
saying
fan,
I get so much rage when I hear that they've changed the original stuff to meet the expectations of people now, and it's like, no, that ruins the whole aura and the whole nostalgia of it.
Yeah.
And you're pissing us off, and we get angry.
Well, that's the whole thing. Like, to go back to the Star Wars,
like, screw the 10-year-olds now.
When you're making new ones, you're going to do whatever you want to do, but the original 3, don't touch them. Don't put Hayden Christensen in them. Don't add extra scenes. Just leave them as is.
Yeah.
And it's the same now.
It's the same thing with The Simpsons.
Let's not, like, we don't need to be appeasing the 12-year-olds now watching it. Like, they either like it how it was or change the new ones, but don't go back.
Get off my lawn.
I am so angry. Like, it's so dumb it's frustrating.
I think the biggest problem, it's just been around so long.
Yeah.
It's just
it's run its course.
Yeah. Like I'm sure there's. I mean, I've heard recently that there's some episodes like, oh man, it's kind of getting like there's some stuff that's like almost like back to what it was like in the golden era.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is good to hear.
Yeah.
But every time I've watched it, it's like, it's just not the same. And
but that's the thing too, is like that's why I think it's so hard, because you're not the same as you were when you were 10, 11, 12, 13,
exactly.
14. You're
being
more
a 10-year-old kid watching
cynical. You're more like, it takes a little bit more. Well, I mean, you guys still like potty humor, but you know what I mean?
Well,
like,
yeah, come on.
But you know what I mean? Like, it just doesn't hit different. At 10 years old and you hear another 10-year-old saying, I'm Bart Simpson. Who the hell are you? You're like, what?
No, I know. It was not something you've definitely heard. It was
like, wasn't he like Fart Man or Ass Man or something?
No, he was Bart Man.
Bart Man.
Fart Man was Howard Stern.
Yeah.
Okay, never mind. Anyway, skip. I said Ass Man, but I guess that wasn't it.
That was a Seinfeld reference.
Really?
Yeah.
Look at me.
Yeah.
Not even.
Hey, Ass Man.
So the Ass Man's back in town. You know it.
That's for a different podcast.
That's right. That's something else we're probably talking about at some point.
1 in a million shot, Doc.
But actually, so talking about those, we've been talking about these episodes over that. So that's a good question. What is your favorite Simpsons episode?
Let you guys fester on that, because I feel like you probably guys have a million.
I have a ton, but I think I can land on one.
Even if you landed on like 2, I think that'd be okay. Me, I don't have a favorite episode because I don't even remember the things I'm remembering. I don't even know if they were like one episode. So I'm going to take the quick opportunity to say specific moments that I've remembered, and you guys, I don't know. But like, I remember the whole big, like, it was Monday morning at school talking about it, but I remember the whole Who Shot Mr. Burns thing. I'm assuming that was early episodes, right?
That was probably mid.
It was sort of, yeah,
Okay.
it was not that early.
Interesting to bring that episode up, because I still have something to say about that episode after.
Okay, hold on. I'm not going to be quick. Don't worry. I promise I won't take long. So that I remember when the whole, like, which Simpsons character died, and it was stupid Ned Flanders' wife. Like, who cares? She fell off. Didn't she fall off bleachers or something?
Yeah.
She was shot by a t-shirt gun, yes.
Lame. So I remember that. I remember the most random episode, the whole, like, when does the water flush different in Australia?
That was a good one.
I remember when, was it Bart? He sold his soul to the devil or something?
Yep, that was a Halloween episode.
Oh, ew. Anyway, and I remember...
No, it wasn't. Never mind.
No.
Oh. No, it wasn't. I was thinking
I was going to fact check you. I'm not going to be that guy.
Because I don't watch Halloween episodes. So I was like, there's no way.
Yeah. It wasn't... Homer lost his soul to the devil.
Yeah.
And I remember the whole... I remember the whole, like... I choose you when he was in love, whoever that was in love with
Ralph Wiggum, yes.
And like, these are just things that I remember, and
they're all like episodes.
Yeah.
Like, no, I know, but I don't remember the episode.
So you have favorite memories, not a favorite episode.
Yeah, I mean, again, like nothing past probably the first 10 years, because again, I watched it mostly because boys I liked watched it, so I had to have something to talk about.
So you're a poser.
Well, yeah, I mean,
you're not a real fan.
No, I'm not a real fan.
You know a lot of episodes though.
Yeah, so I mean, those are kind of like my peak things, but nobody cares about that. They want to all hear your favorite episodes. And please, once you hear their favorite episodes, comment below and let us know what you think.
Yeah, let us know. Send us a message. Let us know what your favorite episode is.
All right, Eric, you go first.
Are you done yet?
Yeah, I am. I talk quick, okay?
I think my favorite episode was Homer the Clown.
Yeah, that was a good one.
That was one of my favorites of all time. It's where Homer goes to clown school. Yeah.
Oh God.
And he gets mistaken for Krusty the Clown at the end.
Yeah.
That something about that episode, like the there was no bad moment in that episode. Even like the stupidest things, the way they like their comedic timing was so on point. Like when Homer he's going to the kid's party as a clown, and he crashes the car into the tree, and there's the pause where you're like, okay, he crashed the car, that's it. And he flies to the windshield screaming.
Yes.
For some reason, that the stupid little pause that made that so much funnier. I'm like, that episode is just like everything.
Like if you watched
good.
that now, would you still 100% laugh?
Oh yeah, I'm laughing thinking about it.
No, it's hilarious. Yeah,
because it's not even like he just like falls to the windshield. He flies to the windshield screaming.
Well, then he like rolls though in front of the kids, like Millhouse's birthday, and
then he makes the balloon animal for, was it Ralph?
Yeah,
and he's like, here you go, little girl, balloon animal. It's like, I'm a boy. It's like, that's a spirit never give up.
Yeah, no.
So inappropriate now, but it was like the 90s. Who cares?
It doesn't even make any sense, but it's just so hilarious.
No, it was a good one. Yeah,
yeah.
I don't know, man. That's one of them. The monorail episode's a good one.
Monorail's so good.
Geez, I don't even have like a favorite episode. Yeah, I don't even know if I could pick one.
Really?
There's so many of them.
You have to. Okay. Well, that's fair.
I'll go with the monorail episode. That's a good one.
That was written by Conan O'Brien.
That was written by Conan O'Brien. Yeah, that's a good one. There's so many of them. Like even the ones you were talking about, like with the.
I also remember the Michael Jackson episode. Lisa.
That was really
that one you can't see anymore. I think that one's been
removed
because of
allegations.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
MJ in his troubled personal life.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that one's gone. But that was a good one.
But is that where it was like, Lisa, it's your birthday?
Yeah.
But it wasn't really Michael Jackson's voice, right?
No, it was. Yeah,
it was.
Really?
Yeah.
He was actually on it.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
But now I have that song in my head. Lisa, it's your birthday.
That's a second. I remember the Simpsons songs in the Key of Springfield. I had that CD. It was all the songs from the Stonecutters and on there, and all the songs from the Simpsons was on there.
Do the Bartman.
That was the other one. The Simpsons Sing the Blues.
Yeah. I also remember the episode where Marge had her mental breakdown in the car and she just stopped driving.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
that's right.
I don't remember I just remember her like literally just sitting.
She
there.
gets hit by they splash her with like pop or something like that, and she like just
loses her
or
mind.
orange juice or something.
Yeah. Anyway, that's what
it's crazy. That show, man, oh man. I find now that's how you can, talking, especially at work and stuff like that, where there's people, in their 50s and 20s, a Simpsons reference. If they get it or they don't, that's sort of how you can tell someone's age, I find.
Now, really quick question, because it's coming to me and it doesn't matter, but I just need to know. My brain needs to rest. Didn't the teacher have a tryst with the principal?
Yeah.
Look at me remembering things.
Yeah, and then Ralph saw them in the janitor's closet getting it on.
That's right, yeah.
Was Ralph the cop's son?
He said they're making babies in the closet, and then the baby winked at him.
Yes, he was Chief Wiggum's son, yes.
And Milhouse. I didn't like Milhouse. He was annoying.
You didn't like Milhouse?
Was he cool?
Oh, his mom says it's cool.
His mom thought he was cool, yeah.
Jesus.
No, yeah.
I mean, whatever. It was fine, but he was Bart's friend, right?
Bart's best friend, yeah.
Yeah, they were best friends.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, deep down,
hey, Bart. That's always how we entered the scene, pretty much.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even if you hold Bart on the phone, that's how his first line was always, hey, Bart.
Hey, Bart. I can't picture him saying that. All right. Anyway, sorry we got off the rails there again. But yeah, there's a lot of episodes. I mean, like I said, for me who didn't watch it regularly, I think, again, it's just one of those things. It's like the Star Wars. It's just so ingrained in the culture of growing up.
Yeah.
You just can't not know things about it.
If you never watched The Simpsons and someone showed you a picture of Homer Simpson, you'd probably know who that was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. So you're right. Yeah. I think anyone would know Bart but Homer definitely. If you haven't watched a show, you would. It's been around so long and it's such a massive show.
Yeah.
That I think most people would know.
Exactly.
The Simpsons
Homer Simpson.
now.
All right. So I kept trying to not interrupt, but I interrupted because that's what I'm a misinterrupter. I just had a conversation with myself. That was weird. Anyway, so I like I said, I didn't watch I'm obviously watched specific episodes, but I don't have the memory for them like you guys do. Like you guys were probably
I always said if I couldn't remember math or science as much as I remember The Simpsons and Seinfeld and stuff like that, I'd totally different life.
Yeah.
What could have been?
You guys are insanity with the Simpsons quotes. Every time I'll be like, what? It's a Simpsons reference.
Pretty much so.
Yeah, basically.
But it's the most random things. It'll be something where it's how do you even know that's a Simpsons quote? It's not even anything specific. It's just random words.
It's just stuck in there somewhere. Like I said, it pushed out all the important stuff. And
another interesting thing, again, just that I see on TikTok and stuff like that. But the whole thing is all the things that the Simpsons have predicted in the past years.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
Now, are those
Trump president and stuff like that?
Are those again, you don't know specific, but are those mostly the really old episodes? I'm guessing
they're all throughout.
Yeah,
I mean, it's not specifically any season or era.
But
no,
it's
just kind of just random stuff. I mean,
it's weird. It's look, if you're not a conspiracy theorist, it's just okay, chalk it up to coincidence because it's 700 and some odd episodes. Of course, things are gonna whatever.
Yeah, but it's
some of it's weird. When I'm what? They really predicted that?
Yeah.
Yeah. I told you, I didn't even think of it. You just mentioned it, but the whole Arminton's area, it's that's mad.
Yeah. That's Mad Men.
The nexus of Mad Men in a nutshell.
Yeah. I was
true.
That's funny. The worst Simpsons episode, or the start of the worst, becomes one of the best shows on AMC.
Yeah. No, it's crazy.
Weird how that translated.
But I think a lot of it, though, getting back to what you're saying, I mean, it's just coincidence.
Well, of course. But it's fun to be oh my gosh, the Simpsons.
Well, it's just crazy.
This.
It's just nuts when they show you. It's oh my god, yeah, they did it again with
Yeah,
I remember the Trump president being one of them, but I know there's a bunch of other stuff too. I can't think of it off the top of my head, but
I
think it's just it's been around so long that it's just
it's guessed a lot.
It just shows how absurd a world we live in right now. I think is the fact that a cartoon from maybe 15 years ago, a cartoon episode nailed it. Where we are right now.
Yeah, I mean, here's a question: would you guys let your kids watch the old Simpsons? Like, if your kids were like, say, like under 10?
Yeah, probably.
I feel like they just wouldn't.
So.
It depends.
I think
mean,
they wouldn't get it.
I think tolerances and tastes have changed. I don't think most of it's like so
but
controversial.
That's the thing.
No,
just off the top of my head, I don't think there's anything that's I mean, not compared to some of the other stuff on TV right now and stuff. I think it's.
I feel like some people would have the issues with, like, you know, Homer strangling Bart, but like clearly, you know, it's like not like he's like it's a joke, right?
No, I mean, as long as you explain to your kids what's going on, but off the top of my head, I couldn't think of anything that would be super worrying for them to see, especially compared to what's on TV right now. I mean, I'd rather have them watch that than like some of the South Park or even Family Guy episodes.
I'd rather have them watch that than, like, you know, YouTube vlogs.
Yeah, it would depending on I mean, you never know what's out there. It's
but I mean, like the Golden Era Simpsons, it's just good TV. Like I think, like, you know, letting your kids watch that, it's fine in my opinion.
Yeah, I don't remember anything being super offensive that like would, you know, be really bad for kids to hear.
Yeah.
Okay, really quickly, because my brain's just spinning off on things, and we already talked about our favorite episodes, but like, what was like that you can think of, like the worst episode that you saw out of the ones you've seen?
Oh, the worst episode,
or just the one that you just were like, didn't hit.
Oh man,
I mean, there's probably something where it's just like, it didn't hit.
That's a hard question. The one that maybe that irked me was the one I talked about.
Yeah, that's so annoying.
Where they changed the Simpsons timeline and now they updated the Homer and Marge relationship story and they meet in the 90s. I'm like, no.
No, that's like, you can't mess with that, especially because you've done that sort of storyline before. Like,
no,
it doesn't make any sense because it's like, you know, how old is Homer and now? Like,
it had a lot of cheap gag jokes in it too. Like Homer was going on a bender and he had like needles in his arm at one point in the episode, but it was like insulin. So like Marge is like, "Oh my God, you're on drugs." He's like, "No," he couldn't get his words out because he was having like a diabetic incident.
But he's not even diabetic.
The whole episode didn't make a whole lot of goddamn sense.
Yeah,
I'm so angry.
Like that gag was dumb. It didn't work. Them being in the 90s, in my opinion, didn't work. Like the whole thing was like.
Yeah, I forgot about that. I remember
that's your
seeing
worst
that
episode, clearly.
I think so.
Okay.
I don't even know, to be honest. I can't even think of one specific one that stands out as like being really bad. I don't know. Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I can't think of one.
But I mean, like, go back to the initial question. Like, when do you think the Golden Era was?
Yeah, like I said, I mean, I'm told it's a weird thing because I'm going to say definitely it was that first, you know, 7 or 8 seasons.
Yeah.
Again, season 1 and 2 obviously were, you know, they were fine, but it wasn't the Simpsons that we know now, or
no,
you know. No. But I would say like season 3 to like 10 probably would be like.
Yeah. I
think pretty much every episode that you watched was good.
Yeah.
After that, then it started to slowly.
Do you remember like when you kind of felt they were falling off? Like not worst episode, but like, okay, I think they're kind of falling off, like what they used to be, like quality wise.
And I think that naturally, like, yes, you got older and life got in the way, but I feel like if it still had a hit as good as it did, you would have made an effort to be watching the new episode.
No, probably, no, but
like even like year wise, like, you know,
I don't even know. Yeah, probably like 2000 maybe.
Yeah,
I don't know. Yeah, what about you?
Me, I think for me, the first 2 seasons, I totally agree with. They're like, you know, warm up almost, right?
Yeah.
Then once you get into like season 3 through like the season where they did the Who Shot Mr. Burns episode, I think that's when the fall off happened. That's the first kind of like gimmicky kind of episode. Like,
Wait,
at that point,
who did shoot Mr. Burns?
It was Maggie.
Yeah.
See, that's what I mean.
Oh, lame.
It was lame. It was a lame cop, but I'm like, we waited all summer for this. This was
that
like
cliffhanger. Cliffhanger thing.
Yeah.
It was like,
So I mean, like, after the
that was like 97, wasn't it? 96, 97?
It was 96, 97.
Yeah.
So for me, there was probably like a 4 or 5 year like golden era.
Yeah.
Everything was really good.
Yeah.
And then after the Who Shot Mr. Burns episode, like I thought it was still like good, but not as good. That's when I first noticed the first quality dip.
Okay. Yeah, I'm trying to remember. I'm trying to think in my head as to what episodes came after that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember the whole Maggie shooting Mr. Burns thing was like stupid.
I feel like, and I have no idea where it is in the timeline, just based on like remembering people talking about it, but I feel like when Ned Flanders' stupid wife died, because again, it was the whole like
that was a little later.
That was later than
It was the whole like who died on The Simpsons, and everybody's thinking it's like Mo or something like that. And it's like his stupid wife that you saw like once.
Well, they've done it a few times now. They've had a few characters.
Yeah. Like, didn't one of the friends die recently? Like Homer's friend, the Larry or something?
Was it Lenny?
Lenny.
No, you know what it was? So it was one of the barflies.
Yeah.
It was Bart. The guy with the glasses and the baseball cap always sits in the bar, doesn't say anything.
Oh,
that guy.
Okay, so it was,
it was,
let's get some good characters dying.
And the whole point of the episode was basically this guy was their friend, but they didn't really know him. So it was sort of like oh shit. Yeah, because like at this guy's funeral, this guy's mom was basically like, you've been such a good friend to him. Thank you. And they didn't even know his name.
Yeah.
Okay, but that just shows how impactful you can be on somebody's life without even knowing it.
I guess so, but it's more like,
it's
man.
sad,
it's sad. For this poor guy who died with no friends and thought he had friends.
But at least he died thinking he had friends, whether he did or not.
I guess.
Well, no, I mean, he died thinking he had friends, so it's better than dying being like, I have no friends.
Oh.
Yeah. That's true. But
it's more like Homer and his other friends should feel bad for not paying attention to him.
Well, that's the whole point.
The point,
not so much that
they all felt guilty afterwards,
Well, I think they kind of should. That's why you should always make an effort to smile and say hi to people. You
That's
never
right.
know what they're going through and how that can impact
In
the
a
day.
world where you can be anything, be kind.
That's right.
Oh, that you need that on a poster.
I'm sure you can get it somewhere.
I'm sure to make that up. I'm sure it came off a poster somewhere.
So really quickly for me, it was whatever that was. I remember a lot of people being like, that was so lame. What was her name?
Maud.
Yeah.
Maud. I didn't even know who Maud was when I watched the episode because it was this whole like cliffhanger thing.
Yeah.
I didn't even know who that was. And I feel like from that, Snowball. Why do I remember Snowball? Didn't Snowball die a few times?
Yeah. That's why
Snowball.
He died early on. It was Snowball 2.
That's right.
Oh, was it always just Snowball 2 after that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Anyway, I just got sidetracked with that. They didn't have a dog.
So anyway,
they did. Yeah.
What do you think? Golden era?
Oh,
when was it?
No, I'm gonna say.
You're getting way off track here.
Well,
I'm like,
I'm
we're going an hour already.
What? It's only been 40 minutes.
No, it hasn't.
No.
How many times have we reset the timer?
Twice.
Okay, anyway, fine. Okay, so really quickly, I mean, obviously, clearly, I would say probably what they're suggesting, like anything past season 10, when it hit sort of like the 2000s, I think there was probably funny episodes, but like it wasn't the same. It was just different.
Yeah.
All the good stuff had been done, kind of.
Yeah, I definitely think the problem with this, it's just been going. It should have ended probably in 2000, and it's just you can only go back to the well so many times.
You guys,
it's really hard to keep it creative and fresh. It's
totally agree.
After 35 years.
Yeah.
But the hold that it has on your nostalgia childhood is that you guys would watch the series finale.
100% I watched the series finale, yeah.
Oh, yeah. The Simpsons holds.
Would I watch that whole season?
No.
I don't know.
But the finale.
Maybe not. I don't know.
You would watch it even knowing it would be garbage.
Maybe it wouldn't. I would like to think it would
maybe they'll come back and they'll get it right.
But I feel like the expectations are so high for any finale, like the Seinfeld, like everything that they never hit the expectations.
Any show, regardless if it's The Simpsons or whatever, like it's Seinfeld, like
Sopranos.
No matter what you do, it's The Sopranos is another great one.
The only episode that
super divisive because
one of the
open-ended last episode.
Nobody wants the show to end either, right?
Yeah.
So that's the thing. It's like
no, but like one of the best finale was probably Breaking Bad. But anyway, that's another topic. That's totally off track. But anyway, because what happened was what should have happened. It wasn't this whole like.
No, exactly.
We get married and we have babies.
Well, the hardest part too, because The Simpsons obviously is animated.
Yeah.
So no one gets older. They're still 10 years old or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's like, how do you end it? I don't even know.
That's
the big. I don't even know how you would end it.
Well, I mean, it's going to end eventually.
Well,
maybe it'll just end not even on fanfare. It'll just be the last season.
Which would be sad if it just kind of withered out. That's the sad part. It's like you want to go when you're good.
We're just not going to renew it. That'd be the worst ending.
I feel like
crap, we got to.
I feel like they have to do like an hour long.
And then the Simpsons flew back to their home planet.
But I feel like they have to do like an hour long finale or something more than just like a half an hour.
Yeah, didn't even get it.
I didn't understand. What does that mean?
It's a joke about Poochie from The Simpsons.
Okay, well, why would I get
You're looking at someone to say Poochie. Yeah. Well, do you?
I don't even know who Poochie is. On that note, see Simpsons quotes. They go right over my head.
That's right. Simpsons quote. They work for everything.
You guys have your own conversation, and I'm just like...
That's right. If anyone listening, guys, let us know. What do you guys think?
Yes.
If you like The Simpsons, the Golden Era, what did you think it was?
Yep.
Are you still watching it? That's the biggest thing I want to know. People still watching it? What do you guys think? Is it worth? Are we missing something? Would you need to tune back in?
Yeah, I don't know.
Let us know below.
All right, guys, but we're going to wrap this one up. There's so many more episodes we can do on The Simpsons, but this was sort of the topic of choice for today. But we thank you guys so very much for listening. And those of you watching, thank you. Hello, we see you. With that being said, that's it.
Take care, everybody.
Yeah, take care, everybody. I was just going to say that's the end of episode today. And now it's all awkward. All right, guys, but that's the end of the episode for today. We thank you so very much, and we'll see you or talk to you in the next one.
Thanks, guys. See you guys.
Bye, everyone.
I'm Bert Simpson.
Who the hell are you?
That's my question, clown.
Dope. Dope. Is that what he said? Dope.
Dope.
We never even talked about Krusty.
Yeah.
I didn't like Krusty. I didn't like his weird friend.
Sideshow Bob.
Sideshow Bob?
Yeah, I didn't like him.
So